The Dangote is beginning to engage in free distribution of petrol as well for marketers nationwide. That piece of news came out yesterday. For us to look at that topic, I'm being joined in the studio by Professor Khailani Muhammed. He's an oil and gas expert. He joins me right here in the studio. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, and good morning, Nigerians.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. We are honored to have you in our studio.
Thank you.
Let's look at, you did a press conference a few days ago. I want to start from there before we come into the issue around the oil and gas sector, where you speak about the high cost of living in Nigeria, how the government policies have created more poverty for the people. You were part of those that brought in this government. What do you think has gone wrong?
Thank you very much. This is a very important question and a very remarkable one. You see, it is true we brought this government. We did our best. I'm the DG Confederation of all APC support groups Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have about over 180-something support groups. And when you look at our number, over 60 million supporters, we manned all the 80-something thousand polling units. We thank God we brought this government. But the players, those that are very close to to Mr. President, many of them are not doing the right thing. Because we came in with an 8-point agenda. We spoke about agriculture, security, education, health, and the rest of them, so that Nigerians can get the dividends of democracy. But the reverse is the case. Since the removal of the fuel subsidy and the unification of the dollar to exchange rate, we have seen a lot of things that are not really good for the country. You see, look at the rate of inflation at 34% today. 34%. And the economic hardship on Nigerians, the populace today, if not the elite, some cannot even afford a single meal. Some sleep with empty stomach. And I'm not blaming Mr. President. I'm blaming the governors, those appointees, the legislature. Why? Because the president came the last May and told us he has given a lot of billions to the governors so that the money will reach the masses, and even palliatives. These monies didn't trickle down. And that's why we have problems everywhere. Hunger, abject poverty in Nigeria today. It seems the president doesn't know. And they are busy saying they want to endorse the president. The electorate that voted for Mr. President, they are watching. You cannot, one good turn deserves another. You're supposed to have, gone back to the electorate.
All right. For
them to say, okay, look, you have done well, and we are going to re-elect you in 2027, not the governor. The governors, I think they don't have people anymore. We, the support group, have these people on ground, the grassroots, and want Mr. President to look back, let him, this money is doling out to the governors and all these officials should go to the market women, the students, our organization, so that the money will go down and this poverty will be reduced to the barest minimum.
Indeed. Yes. Quite incisive there. I thought I should bring that in since you spoke about the high cost of living over the weekend. Let's not lose the sight of the issues around the oil and gas sector. Recently, there was a changes at the NNPC. You have been an expert in that area. Tell us your assessment of the changes that you saw at NNPC.
Thank you. But before then, what happened in Maiduguri yesterday when the national chairman, there was a meeting in Maiduguri yesterday, of the APC, where they didn't mention Shetima's name. They endorsed the president. There was a crisis, skirmishes everywhere. They have to move our leaders for safety.
All right.
This is an example that they must have to look back before 2027. Then let me take the issue of NNPC.
Absolutely.
The spectral analysis of what is happening in the oil sector is, in a nutshell, is that the old NNPC metamorphosed into the new NNPC Limited through Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB. Now, it's a new company entirely that is independent, repositioned to make money for Nigeria through taxes and royalties so that the government can develop its infrastructure. The change of button, whether we like it or not, Mr. Bello Kyari did his best because he introduced what we call TEP, transparency, accountability, productivity, and excellence in NNPC. And they moved toward that so that NNPC will be corruption-free. And I think he did his best. It had never happened in the history of this country. The audited account of NNPC was made public. I don't think any institution has done that yet. And he has been declaring before he left profit, which didn't happen for 44 years. The
NNPC.
Yes.
But not without some challenges.
Well, the challenges, the pros and cons are there. So on the achievement, I think he did his best and left. On the corruption that they are talking about, well, that's left for the security agencies to see to it. But for me, he did his best, and he brought even correction to the... He automated the system. Before you do anything, they are watching you, computers are everywhere. I think he did his best. When somebody does something good, he should be commended for it. Then, the new NNPC, Mr. Bayo Ajulari said, when they were handing over, I saw it on TV, he said he was going to build on what his predecessor did. So, if he does that, the sky will be his limit. All what I have for him is that the president came out, OHA, and gave him a target. This target is that we are producing 1.5 million barrels of crude oil daily. The president wants it to go to 2 million. And in 2027, it should also go to about
2.5 million.
No, it should go to 3 million in 2030. You know, that is an Herculean task.
Absolutely.
And that's on the crude part. On the gas, you want by 2030, it should be about, is it 30 trillion standard cubic feet. So that is a big assignment.
Absolutely.
And that on the refinery side, the downstream, it should be 200,000 barrels per day that will be refining up to 2027. Then by 2030, it should be about 500,000 barrels per day. That's also another big task. So I know, I've seen the board members, I've seen Mr. Ajulari has worked before in the oil sector, that's ExxonMobil, and many of them, I think some of them are expatriates. I wish them well. But number one, they have to, at a stranded matter of urgency, look into the issue of oil theft. While you are producing, you have militants in the Niger Delta who are stealing half of the money. And we have also some governors, some chiefs You have the army too, the navy. They are involved in theft. By the time NNPC produces, for example, 1.5 million barrels per day, half is gone.
It's gone. Half is stolen.
It's stolen. It's every day. So something.
Prof.
I have about 7 or 6 items to mention.
Okay, go ahead.
I just started with security.
Okay.
So the management must make sure all our pipelines are saved. Vandalism should not take place on the pipelines. Then those that are stealing, I'm surprised that the federal minister of the FCT, Mr. Innocent Wike, said recently, he mentioned some people, some army chiefs, but nothing has been done. Even during Buhari, I think those people that are stealing our oil, they are above the law. That's number one on the security aspect. The other issue is the idle fields that are, nothing is happening in them. They are there, licenses have been given out, but they are lying idle.
Absolutely.
So all we need to do, the new management must create an enabling environment, climate for investors to come in, to make sure that we harness and we drill oil from those oil wells. There are many. That's number 2. Number 3 is the issue of AKK. AKK, once this...
Very important.
It is very important. And it transfers from Kogi to Kaduna, Abuja,
yes.
Abuja to
Kaduna to Kano.
Kano. Then, you see, that project will produce about 3.3 megawatt of electricity for Nigeria. And to also power, it will enhance industrialization. All those companies that will be using gas to produce, products will spring up. So it's a big project that we don't need to abandon. So the management of NNPC, I read about 3 days ago that is 70% completed. I will be taking my team around. Maybe our next interview to tell Nigerians whether that is true or not, because that's our job. Number 4 is the issue of local content. Local content has to do with education. It has to do with a value chain and engineering and logistics. We need to be producing all these things. They are importing. Is it machinery? Is it ships that are built in to move our products? Or is it the refinery itself? We must have people who are expert in it to do it locally in Nigeria. Then the issue of the target he gave them, they said we needed about $25 billion US to be able to produce 2 million barrels per day. And investors, unless we make the environment, as I mentioned earlier, the safe environment, and then we must have to get these assets in place before investors will continue to pour into Nigeria. Otherwise, by now, I was proud when I was working in the oil sector, we are number 4 oil producing country. Today, I don't think we are number 4 again because Angola and Namibia has taken over.
Absolutely.
So this government has a task. We want to go back to our position. Then the issue of energy transition. We need cleaner fossil.
Absolutely, the CNG.
The CNG, we need even solar, renewable energy,
electric
vehicles, so that our environment will be very safe. And we have more gas in abundance. They say we have about 206 trillion standard cubic feet. That's enormous.
Absolutely.
And we have about 37 billion barrels of crude oil reserves. We are sitting on it. So the tax is enormous. You should look at old hands, those that have retired from the refinery, those that know the job.
They know the sector.
Those
that know the sector.
That is it. Then on the downstream, the refineries. I had a course to shut down the refinery in 1998, that of Kaduna. because of wrongdoings, because of corruption, because during the turnaround maintenance in 1998, what happened was that they brought money, but that money nobody saw it, and then they were bringing extra job order. They gave the job to Total. Total wasn't an engineering outfit, and for 1.5 years, the refinery was lying comatose until when we shut the refinery and told the Abacha to come. We are not happy because they said the engineers, technicians, and even the artisans in the refinery should not touch the job, that it has been contracted out. But for 1.5 years, nothing happened. And when we did that for the good of Nigeria. So, and I believe since that time to date, I was retired. I led the protest. I was retired prematurely from NNPC, but I thank God I did the right thing.
Absolutely.
Repaired the refinery. People should not be dying on queues. Those good old days, when we normally do turnaround maintenance, it takes us 43 days. All the equipment, right from the water intake to cooling tower to the power plant, PPU, to the areas where you refine, area 1, 2, 3. We have loop oil 2, 5, and 6, those areas. The equipment like pumps, heat exchangers, you have compressors, you have all these distillation columns, you have valves. All these things, we repair them. Those that are supposed to be replaced are replaced.
Indeed.
Those that are supposed to be repaired are repaired. And then after 40 days, we have 3 days blackout. We call the Japanese, about 6 of them. They will fly in to Kaduna and for precision measurements. And when they do that, we start the refinery. For 2 years, it will never come down. It doesn't mean we don't have problem here and there.
That's impressive. But Prof, just for me to butt in, your experience is quite enormous, and I'm sure this board really need an experienced people like you, given the fact that even the Port Harcourt and Warri refinery that we were told came on board have also been shut down again for turnaround maintenance. What's your take on that? My take on that is that anything doing or you want to do, you have to do it well. Well, I'm aware that of Port Harcourt refinery, they engaged a contractor, and the contract was awarded at is it 2.8 billion US. So the NNPC has some percentage while the contractor had the large sum of the job. So as I mentioned, all we need is honesty and sincerity, which we are doing before. If they want to sell all the refinery, that will worry. You cannot sell it. It's people's assets. When we wanted to do that during Obasanjo, we protested and we didn't allow that one to happen. With good management and honesty, we can run our refinery. Refineries can run for 100 years. It's just about 40-something years. Get the right people there. You don't need to privatize. Somebody said they should privatize these refineries. They just want to buy them. And then no Nigeria can smell those refineries. Look at our Indorama, producing polypropylene and fertilizer. The Obasanjo sold it at 900 million. Well, we have the document. And they put a wall. The Indians put a wall. The LMA people, nobody can go near that petrochemical. And by the time they produce all this polypropylene, they have the sea behind and they'll just move it out. So we want even the government to have a review on that. That is a very big issue you have raised, and I'm sure it's something that we'll have to discuss extensively. But let's quickly get your take about Dangote Refinery as well. You talk about the privatization of refinery, which you said shouldn't be done.
Yes.
But we're having a private refinery now that has come on board, and he's saying that he's going to distribute PMS free. Of charge for marketers nationwide. It's going to deliver. Right.
Dangote can never do that. Dangote can never do that. Dangote is supposed to be a brother. He did a good job by establishing a refinery. But where I faulted him, that refinery is supposed to be in Niger State in Baro, not Lekki, because he's a northerner and we are impoverished in the north.
Baro is a businessman.
No, it doesn't mean that place too, like Baro Port. They could have concentrated in Baro Port. The refinery should be there, and the whole north will be serviced. But nevertheless, it's there. He has 650,000 refinery barrels per day, and up to today, what I learned. But Dangote must come out and tell us it's not true. It's still producing at 40%. The EFCC, the fluid catalytic cracker, is not there. It's 40%. So if the federal government is giving him Naira to Crude deal, and they are saying he collects about 12 cargoes every day, where is he carrying those crude? Is he selling them outside? That's the question we want to ask. It's a big question we want to know, because 12 cargoes is not small. So we appreciate what he did, but the last administration, they had a hula bula, they were having a problem with the last management. But with this management now, I think they are doing the right thing. They have started giving him. So the independent marketers only recently came out, they had a press release that why should, since it's refining this product in Nigeria, it's not importing any crude, why is he selling above 800? It should be less than 700, because he cannot tell us transportation costs or this or that or any demurrage. All those conditionalities attached to importation are no more there.
So you feel Dangote product should be cheaper?
Yes, because we are selling the product to him in Naira. But the local production.
Yes, the Naira deal lasted for just, I think,
it has been renewed. It was 2024. It has been renewed by this management. So, and that's why the independent marketers are crying. It's good. Government gave out licenses to many investors. We don't know why, since Obasanjo period, but they collected the licenses, using these licenses dubiously. So we would like this management to look into the regulatory bottlenecks, supply gap, and then also the investors' apathy. You understand? When you do that, you have a clean environment, people will now come, because regulation, licenses, is also a problem.
Absolutely.
Where you explore, or where you produce crude or gas. Now, this country must shift from crude. We have more gas in abundance. The gases are there. And the whole world now, they are looking towards gas, which is also more expensive than the crude. So Mr. Bayo Ajulari has
a whole lot to do.
Oh, he has to. And he has to contact
the industry experts, especially those who have worked there before.
Then secondly,
yes,
he should operate an open door policy. From the fillers, he had an interview on BBC recently that the northerners are saying he's not a northerner, and that he's from Ilori, and he grew up in Kaduna. Well, that's it. Ilori people are northerners, and we are brothers. So we are going to support him, but he has to an open door policy.
Absolutely.
There are also issues which I don't believe. They said they are disengaging staff, those that are not yet ripe for retirement, without query, without any. I mean, if it is not true, let it be so. But if it is true, you should make amends and make sure we are Nigerians, so that all hands will be on deck to support him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Before we wrap up the conversation, I want to ask about the crude oil price now. It's going up at the international market because of the conflict going on in the Middle East.
Yes.
What does this say about Nigerian budget? Our budget benchmark for this year is $75 per barrel.
Yeah.
The oil as of today is $74 per barrel. Do you think there is hope for Nigeria now, given the, the current price now that we're having in the crude oil market?
Yes, there will be hope. The only problem is, where are all these monies going to? This government is our own, and we want the government to be re-elected in 2027. The subsidy was removed. Where are the monies? Implementation.
They say they have invested it in infrastructure, in roads, construction, about 40 roads or thereabout.
The projects are ongoing?
Ongoing. That's what we see. Your government should know better.
Yes, but what of the hunger in the land? Are you building infrastructure to the detriment of the people who are dying on a daily basis, insecurity and the rest of it? So all we are saying, Mr. President must have a think. There are people very close to him who doesn't want him to succeed. We want him to succeed.
All right.
And he has to, the beauty of democracy, you don't gag the press. Fundamental human rights, you have right to operate.
All right, Prof.
Right of association and right to protest.
To protest, indeed. All right, Prof. I want us to stay within the context. I'm talking about the budget of 2025. Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel, given the current price?
I've given you the
oil
answer
price
now. I said there is light at the end of the tunnel. The federal government will get more revenue. And those revenues, that's why I said it should go down to the poor people. They will get more money. Look at the difference between 65 naira to, it will even go to 100 or more. If the conflict,
we really hope so.
But we want the conflict to stop. But so people are dying.
Absolutely.
So they will have more money. There will be light at the end of the tunnel, but it has to be channeled to the people. Grassroots. People are dying of hunger.
In 30 seconds, do you see what happened under Abacha? Like when Abacha increased the fuel price, he set up PTDF that happened at the time. Do you advise government to do something like that?
If the government can do that, that would be fantastic. That would be very good. So that the infrastructure you want to develop, all this money will be channeled directly to these infrastructures. All right. You can see up to today, Abacha said these things are,
legacies are still
they are still there. And I want to call on the Senate President. I was his campaign coordinator.
All right, Prof.
So let him also look back.
All right,
because
Prof, we have to go.
He has abandoned from presidential support committee.
Prof, thank you so much. We have to go. Thank you so much, Professor.
I'm trying to advise him to look back.
We're almost out of time.
Look back to the electorate. Look back to your people.
All right.
Turn back so that tomorrow, they saw what happened in Maiduguri yesterday.
All right.
People are now becoming tired.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Professor Khailani Muhammed, oil and gas expert.
Next time, if I bring me, give me more time.
Absolutely. Time is always not our friend. I'm sure 1 hour will not be enough for us to finish this topic.
Thank you very much.
Certainly, we'll bring you again, and of course, you have enough time. Thank you so much, Prof. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right. With that is a wrap on the show today. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Yusuf Akogu.